Hi everybody. So yesterday I talked about how to save your lettuce or your romaine lettuce so that it lasts for about a month, right? So today now I'm going to talk about how to save your tomatoes, your celery, and snap peas to get it to last. Now, my tomatoes are not doing the greatest because I've had them for so long. I've had them for 4 weeks now, maybe 5. But you will see that I've got tomatoes that are on the vine, okay? I buy all my tomatoes on the vine. Here's why. If you buy your tomatoes on the vine still feeds your tomato. So your tomato doesn't get rotten as fast. Like I said, I've had these for about 4 weeks, and you can see they're now starting to get shriveled. They're a little softer, but they lasted for like 4 weeks. And that's the key to keeping tomatoes. If you want to keep cherry tomatoes, I suggest buying grape tomatoes. Not the actual round ones, but the ones that are the shape of a grape. They will last you over a month. It's just that simple. And I buy all my produce at Aldi's. If you have a store that is like Cub or Walmart and you can see the tomatoes on the vine, you want to get the ones that are super hard and that aren't quite red yet. And you want to feel them. They can't be squishy. If they're squishy, you're going to take them home and they're going to be just rotten within a couple days. Okay? You don't want really red. You don't want squishy. You don't want soft. What you want is a hard tomato, even almost the yellowy orange color before they turn deep red. Because like these are a deep red. Okay, when I bought them, they were a little orangey. That's how I keep my tomatoes. Now, I buy sugar snap peas. They're low in carbs. I can eat them as a snack, or I can dip them in my ranch dressing, and I can just keep them. Now, I'll be honest. I look for the ones, now these are getting old. I've had them now for like 3 weeks. But I look for the ones that look like this. They're very nice. They look snappable. They don't got no wrinkles. They don't got no spots. They look really good. That's what I look for when I go. This is Aldi's again. When I look for snap peas. You don't want anything that's got the spots, that looks like it's getting shriveled or wrinkled. None of it. And when you get it home, you want to cut it open and let it get air. It cannot be moist. If it gets, see, here's what I'm talking about. I got one in here. You don't want one that looks like this. Can you see this, everybody? I mean, seriously, look at that. Okay? You don't want these. They ruin your snap peas. You want to throw them out. But you want to open the bag so that they get air, and that way they don't get moist. If they're wet, they get soggy, they mold real quick. If you keep the bag open and put them in your fridge, just open like this, they will last. And let me tell you, they will last a month. These I've had now for over 3 weeks, going on week 4. That's just how I do my snap peas. Now celery. Here's my celery. I've already had this for over 2 weeks. Okay? You can see it's still in the bag. I haven't really done much. You can see the leaves. Okay? They're getting shrivelly. That's no big deal. I keep my celery attached to the bottom, and I'm going to show you. See? It's still attached. And you can see I got some leaves falling off and different things, and I'm just going to take them off here. And you can see it's getting old, but it's still green. Look at it. It's still green. Okay? What I do when I want celery is I pull one stalk off, I keep the bottom, and I go wash it and cut up what I want. Now, if you're really going to get tricky, you can actually keep this longer than a month if you put it in a glass jar with some water for the bottom. That's all the celery needs. If you want to keep it out or keep it in your fridge standing up in a little glass jar where it can get the water, your celery will last and it won't even look weepy. Okay? I have made celery last probably a month and a half. And I keep it like this. And that way my celery still has its nutrients at the bottom because it's where it gets it all. And this way it lasts. And I don't feel a rush to have to eat it. And this way it gets this way. If you think it's getting soggy maybe, like this top one here, like I said, take the bottom and put it in a glass of water for a while, and it'll all spruce right back up. Just some lukewarm water. You don't want hot. You don't want too cold. But just some lukewarm water, stick it in there. This will all spruce right back up. Celery's really good about that, and you can keep your celery to last longer. Okay? So these are my tips. And here's why I'm giving you these tips. Because every time I tell people I'm on keto, or they ask me how I've lost my weight, or how come I'm feeling better, everybody always turns to me and says, well, keto's so expensive. Or it's just a bacon and egg. Well, realistically, it's not. And keto doesn't have to be expensive. That's why I came up with the group Keto for the Average Person. I'm an average person. I don't have a lot of money. You know, I'm not out here just throwing my money away frivolously. I literally have to look for sales, coupons, all that stuff. And that's why it's important to keep my vegetables for as long as I can. And it saves me money. And that's why I showed you the chicken trick about deboning your chicken and buying it cheaper and keeping it in your freezer versus just going and buying chicken breast. I mean, if you stop and think about it, I don't got a lot of money to just go out and buy whatever. And I've been doing keto now before the pandemic. I bet you it's been 6 years now, 7 years. And to be honest with you, as of today, I've lost over 45 pounds. And when I first started keto, it was the same. I didn't have the money to even do keto. So I started with a salad. Now you can go buy iceberg lettuce. You don't have to get romaine. Same with the iceberg. Don't take that core out. Keep that core there. And only peel off the ones that you need. If they look a little icky on the outside, peel those off and use what's good. That way you can keep your lettuce. And iceberg lettuce is cheap. Same with celery. Tomatoes now are a little higher in carbs, but I'm sorry, I cannot have a salad without tomatoes, okay? I don't know about you. I even like cucumbers. They're harder to keep. I've tried many different things to keep cucumbers. They are not the easiest to keep. My key for you buying cucumbers to keep them maybe a couple weeks is to get the really, really, really hard cucumbers. And don't get the ones that have any bruises or look bruised up or look soft or feel soft. I buy super hard cucumbers. And that's it. I've never went and spent tons of money. Yes, I know how to bake. So for me, that may be a little easier. But some of these recipes I've showed you lately are really no bake. Cottage cheese isn't that expensive, and it's high in protein. I know eggs have gotten to be expensive, but you don't need eggs. I mean, you can eat anything. For breakfast, you could have, some sausage. You could have a hot dog. Nobody says you have to have eggs all the time or bacon. You can do no bacon. You could make yourself a wrap, a keto wrap with the Mission Zero carbs and throw some sausage in and maybe some chicken or whatever you want to eat, some zucchini, some vegetables. You can eat that for breakfast. And people are making cottage cheese chips. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to show you how they make the cottage cheese chips. Because cottage cheese isn't that expensive. Same with yogurts. You can go get yourself some Greek yogurt. And you can get some raspberries and blueberries. And here's how I keep them. I freeze them. So if they start to go bad, I pull out the bad ones. I throw them in a Ziploc freezer bag and throw them in my freezer. So these are ways I save money. Because I am not rich. I can't afford to go buy all the expensive stuff. I do buy the Aldi's bread, and it is like $5 a loaf. It used to be under $4, but now it's $4.99. And I'll tell you something. I freeze it. If it's on sale, I buy a couple, and I freeze it. And I turn around and throw that into my freezer and take out what I need, and it will last in my fridge. I don't let it sit on the counter. It sits in my fridge, and then it will last months. Seriously. And I take out what I need. I don't eat it every day because it's not really that good for you. So I don't eat it every day. But if I want a sandwich, I got the bread. Last night we had burgers and cheese fries, and I went and just grabbed the bread and made a cheeseburger. These are ways, and you save money. Same with cheese. Aldi's had cheese on sale. Sliced cheese, provolone, Munster, smoked Gouda, and What was the other one? Provolone, mustard, smoked Gouda. There was something else. I can't remember right now. Anyway, they're $1.65 for the cheese. Now, I will take my Aldi's bread and make a cheese sandwich, or I'll make a grilled cheese with it, okay? I even throw these cheese on my eggs. I don't eat eggs every day because I'm not a big eggs fan. But I do use the cheese. I can throw it in with some zucchini and some sausage and make it into like a pizza bite, or just eat it, or throw it in a wrap or on my tacos. I freeze that cheese. I only take out what I need to use and then I freeze it. Same with my blocks of cheese. I buy American cheese. I'm a big American cheese person. I love them. And you know what? I buy the big Bongards blocks of cheese. I know it's gone up. Mine is up to $12.50 or more. Ugh, I remember when it used to be the cheapest cheese around. And it was better than Kraft. At least I thought it was. But the killer is, I take it and I get the 3 big blocks. So it's this big loaf, right? And I take 1 block out and I put the other 2 blocks in a freezer bag and throw it in my freezer. That way I got cheese. You know, if it's on sale, I'll buy a couple. I mean, I really try to save money. And I don't go out and try to buy the keto bars or the keto yogurts. I do have some, don't get me wrong. But I don't eat them every day, so not a big deal. But if I want something quick, maybe I'll grab a yogurt. Do I have protein powders? Yes. Are they expensive? Yes. But I waited till I had money. Then I went online and found them cheaper, like on eBay or this other health food store. I think it was American Health. I'll have to look it up and let you know. I'll put it in the description. But yes, these are things that I get, that I use, and I really save. Because I don't have a protein drink every day. I mean, I might drink collagen every day. But I even buy that cheaper. I look for deals. I look for sales. I look to buy things better. And I'm always reading the back of every single thing. How many carbs? How much fiber? You know, how much protein? But that's how I do it. And like I said, this doesn't have to be hard. Keto is just basically a protein and a vegetable. That's it. That's it. That's how you do keto. And you watch how many carbs you're eating. And it's that simple. You cut out sugars. You cut out your potatoes, your breads, your, carrots, any of that grows in the ground. Okay? And any starches, like, your breads, your glutens, all that stuff. And simple. That's it. Protein, vegetable. I even used to make stir fries. I used to take broccoli, some peppers, green peppers, red peppers, some zucchini, and some chicken, and throw it in, or some sausage, and throw it in my wok and make a stir fry. I even used a little bit of teriyaki sauce because it was so low in sugar. So, those are my suggestions for the day, that keto doesn't have to be expensive. And that's exactly why I named my group Keto for the Average Person, because that's how I am. I'm average. Okay? I don't got money to be out here buying all that stuff. So I hope this helps. And, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. I'm going to have more. I show recipes, whatever. And run to my YouTube channel if you didn't get all of this, because that's where all my videos are. So I hope you all are enjoying this lovely weather. It is 50 here. The snow's almost gone. And let me tell you, we are really enjoying it. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.